You guys, we did it. We finished our first week of homeschool. Hey everyone, I'm Michelle from A Common Life. If you are new to my channel, I'm the homeschooling mom of 5 kids ages 3 through 11. And today I'm just going to share about our first week of homeschool. We did it, we're done, and now it's Labor Day weekend, so we get a short week, so that's pretty fun. I'm sitting outside because it is gorgeous. You guys, I hate summer. I really, really do not like summer at all, and it is beautiful out. It's so nice. I've got my cold brew here. It's dripping because it's actually so warm out. But anyway, I've got my cold brew with my almond milk, and I'm just sitting out here working on some videos, and I just wanted to sit down and share with you how our first week went. Because honestly, it was a week, but it felt like a month. And not because it went badly, because it didn't. We actually had a really good week, but there was a lot of other stuff going on behind the scenes. Let me just go ahead and share with you from day one. So day one for us was actually last Friday, 2 Fridays ago by the time you guys see this. And it was our very first co-op day. Now, I'm sorry, it's probably super noisy here because it is. Even though we're in the woods, it's just noisy, and there's, roads that way. And so you can hear cars and stuff sometimes. But anyway, so our first day of homeschool was a co-op day. And we have not done a co-op like this before. I've talked about it before in some of my previous videos, but we've never done a co-op where you go in and they're taught different classes throughout the day. And so even just the organization that I had to do to prepare for this co-op was crazy. We have done classical conversations in the past, and basically the first week you just show up and you maybe bring a lunch or whatever, and that's it. But for this one, I had to have certain books that I ordered and certain binders and spiral notebooks and folders and just so many different things, and I just wasn't really used to it. So I spent all day Thursday just kind of prepping, and I had our meals made ahead of time because we have to leave at 7:15 in the morning to go to co-op. Yes, 7:15 in the morning. So that means I'm waking up at 5:45 on co-op days, and I don't like waking up before 6. I don't know what it is about the 6 o'clock hour, but 6 o'clock, I'm fine. 6 o'clock to wake up, I'm perfectly happy with that. But 5:59, I don't even like to wake up at 5:59. I like to wake up at 6. So I'm waking up at 5:45 on co-op days, which is fun. So anyway, so we get to co-op and, everything goes fine. It was a really, really good day. Everyone did really well, except Eric, because Eric is difficult, and Eric never really does very well anywhere, even at home. He is just a high-needs little 3-year-old, and he wants me all the time. So he is supposed to be in a preschool class for about 3 hours in the morning, and at an hour and a half in, he hit his cap, and he was done, and he was ready to just be with me. So he was with me for the rest of the day. And that was incredibly frustrating for me because after lunch, I have to teach a class. And so while I'm trying to teach, he's in there with me, crying and whining and just being absolutely miserable. So that was not fun, unfortunately. So I had to deal with that. And it was fine. It wasn't a big deal. And I was able to kind of spend that next hour with him. And then the day was done. So it wasn't the end of the world. And I love my class. Oh my goodness. I thought that I wasn't going to like it because it's kindergartners through 2nd grade, and it ends up being mostly 1st and 2nd graders. And I was like, oh, that age is so hard because they're so wiggly and they need to be entertained. And I don't think of myself as a very fun person, but we had so much fun. I had such a good time with them. Seriously, we had it again yesterday, and I just loved it. It was just a blast. And some of the kids told me or told their parents that I'm their favorite teacher, which made me so happy. So I'm just oh, I love these kids. So I love co-op. My kids really love co-op. My older children are really enjoying co-op and making new friends. But poor little Eric, he just is not having it. So he did a little bit better this past Friday. He stayed about 2 hours. Sorry, there is an airplane flying above me. He stayed about 2 hours, but that was it. And then he was with me for the rest of the day. And we had to transfer from building to building before the last class, and he got soaked in a torrential downpour. I got soaked too. My hair was literally so wet that I was dripping in the back. It was crazy. And so he was crying and crying and crying. And so for our last class, the teacher and the assistant teacher just told me I could just go. And I took Eric to another room and just sat with him. So the parents are all really nice, really helpful, and just reassuring. A lot of them had said that they have children who were, very similar to Eric and wouldn't leave them. So at least I know that these moms have walked the path that I'm walking. So that feels really great. That was 2 Fridays ago, and this past Friday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, if I can do days of the week. Monday, we started homeschool at home, and I decided that this week I was going to do more of an abbreviated week. I was just going to have them do their math and their music and their typing and then any of their homework from their co-op. And so that made things a lot easier. We just kind of eased our way in because I knew that on Wednesday we were not going to be able to do school at all. So in my mind, since most of their assignments are 4-day assignments, it just wasn't going to work because that means I'm going to be cramming things into 3 days, and it would just be miserable. So we just went ahead and did kind of like an abbreviated week, got a lot of work done. They had their music lessons and things like that. And then on Wednesday, I was gone the entire day. I spent 3 hours in the car. Whoop, there's a leaf falling. I spent 3 hours in the car, and I took one of my children to go have some testing done, some cognitive developmental testing. And so that took the entire day. He and I went in the morning for 4 hours, and it's 45 minutes away. So it was an hour and a half in the car total for him. And then as soon as I got home, I quickly ate some food. And then my husband and I went back another hour and a half worth of driving for that trip, and we got all of the results. So one of the things that we learned, and I'm not going to share everything because I like to protect my children's privacy, but one of the things that I am going to share is that he has a learning disability, which we did not know. And so it isn't something that is necessarily going to profoundly affect his life, but it is something that I am going to have to be able to recognize and help him because he learns differently than my other children. And on top of that, he's gifted. And so he is a gifted child with a learning disability and obviously some other things as well that I'm just going to keep to, our own privacy. And anyway, so that was a huge deal for me, just kind of like absorbing it all and kind of understanding it and learning things. And they said that he's actually atypical and that there are not a lot of other children or people like him. And so just doing some research online, it was really hard to even find things. And so honestly, I was kind of a little bit all over the place this week emotionally. I was, kind of stressed on Wednesday, and then Thursday I was just kind of like processing it all. And Friday I came down, and then in the morning I went to breakfast with my friend Megan, and we were able to just kind of like talk it through, and that was really, really good. And I feel a lot better about it now. I feel like, more secure in the fact that like I'm excited and happy that we found this out because now I know what he's capable of, and I know also like how to teach him and what to do to make things easier for him and how to make adaptations within our own home and within our homeschool and things like that to just make it better for him. So anyway, that was a really big deal. That was some stressful stuff. So, but I'm kind of, I've kind of dealt with it, and I am ready to, plow ahead now with all this new information. So because of that, he's going to be in a bunch of therapies this fall. So now on top of the co-op and sports and music, we're going to be doing therapies as well. So I'm going to be looking into home therapies. There are a lot of bugs making noise out here. I'm sorry. I don't know how loud it is for you guys, but it's really loud for me. So anyway, he's going to be in a bunch of therapies this fall, or forever, probably. Not forever, but for a while. And so things are going to change, and we're going to have to adapt, and that's great. I mean, he's such a great, bright, funny, smart kid. I mean, just like the sweetest boy ever. So I just think he's going to be amazing. And he is amazing. So then on Thursday, we finished up all of our work for the week. And then on Friday, we went to co-op. And that was that. Oh, and also on Thursday night, the kids started soccer practice. So John and Grace are both doing soccer. Both of their coaches were incredible. Like, honestly, I could not have asked for a better coach for John. He has never done soccer before, and his coach is amazing. Like, seriously, I'm sitting there watching the coach and just thinking, like, wow, like, I could not imagine a better coach for John. So that was, like, just... And after the day we had before, it was just such a reassuring day for me to see that. I was like, yes, this was a huge blessing, and I'm so glad that we did this and that John wanted to do it because he's never played a sport before. So that was a big deal. So it was very exciting. That is just a recap for our first week, and I am definitely not planning on doing a weekly recap. That is not going to happen. But I may do like a monthly recap or something like that. I definitely can't do it every week because it's probably not going to be very interesting every week, and I want my videos to be interesting. So anyway, thanks for sticking around to the end of this video. If you enjoyed it, click that like button and don't forget to subscribe. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.